Welcome back to the channel today. So today I'm going to be reviewing the 2019 horror film, Black Christmas. All I can say about this film is this. It is awful. Yeah, this is really bad. So Black Christmas was a horror film that's a remake of the 1974 movie of the same name, which is, again, Black Christmas. There's also a 2006 movie by the same name. This has nothing to do with either of those films, other than that they share the same name. Completely different story. Yeah, it's... Yeah. There's a lot to talk about here, and none of it's positive. It's all just a clusterfuck. So, the thing to take into consideration here is the original 1974 version is one of the best horror films in the 1970s. It's a classic slasher film. Slasher films for me mean a lot more than probably the average person because the slasher genre is my favorite genre. When I first saw this movie was coming out, I'm like, oh cool, we're getting a Black Christmas remake, cool, another slasher film, it's another remake. It's kind of what the age we're in right now. Slashers are kind of, the genre's kind of dead outside, one or two little indie films we get a year, one of which is god awful, and the other one is, solid, and maybe we get a remake. That's kind of what the genre's become. So when I first saw this was, coming out, I was like, okay, cool, I'll go see it, support slashers, gotta support the slasher genre. And then I saw the first trailer for it, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? What is that? It's not the movie. I gave you the movie. It's nothing like the original. Yeah, it was disappointing. But, I'm not really surprised by that, because I know before going into the movie and stuff and seeing it today, that, the director, Sofia Takal, I'm probably butchering her name, and I apologize. She said in an interview, she admitted in an interview that she never saw the original. Which is really frustrating, because I don't understand how you can direct a film that's a remake of another film without seeing that film. And she co-wrote this one! Like, I don't understand! Like, you were a writer on this film! Like, what the fuck happened? Like, how did that slip your mind? Like, what was that film supposed to do and stuff, Watch Black Christmas? The original? Nah, fuck that. Nobody's gonna care. It's really frustrating. Because, again, the original's a classic. And the original kind of follows the, I wouldn't say completely follows, but it follows along with the, Man in the Attic and the Babysitter Urban Legends. If you have an interest in that, look them up. They are pretty interesting. It's pretty self-explanatory, though. So, fuck it. Also go watch Urban Legend, which is the 1990s slasher film starring Jared Leto, which is a guilty pleasure for me. Not the best film, but guilty pleasure. But no, I don't understand how you do that. That's a big clusterfuck to me, a big problem for me. But honestly, it's just completely different, because it's basically, what this iteration of, Black Christmas is a group of sorority girls, basically they're staying at school for the holidays for a variety of different reasons, and basically somebody starts hunting them. Or somebodies. It's kind of given away in the trailer, so fuck it again, I guess, right? Yeah. Basically, without going into too much detail there, that's kind of what the synopsis is. Except when you break it down even actually into the film. All the fucking movie is an entire the movie is just a message. Basically saying rape culture in colleges is horrible. And, toxic masculinity is horrible. And it's like, yeah, those are things we know. Clearly we don't follow them because they're still fucking problems, but we should know that, The message itself is a good message. It's just, it's not subtle at all. It's like you have a sledgehammer, you're just smashing somebody over the head with it. That's what the message is. There's no subtlety to it. It's just there. And unfortunately, That's the only thing the movie has, is the message. There's no plot. I mean, there is technically a plot, but the plot is basically there just to help drive in the message. But it's not like... that should never be the issue. That should never be the case. It should always be the opposite, where your message helps, define your plot. It should be, hey, we have this story, and it's awesome, and there's also this message in there, you gotta find it. Good, you grabbed it, you got it. Awesome. That's what it should be. That's what filmmaking is. Or should be, at least, at its, most basic level. And somehow we got the exact opposite here. We reversed it. Fuck. It's bad. It's a really bad film. This is an example of why we see these films, so that you don't have to. Because, don't waste your time on this. Although, I will say this is probably one of the... I had a breakdown moment, a Cats-esque breakdown moment, about 2/3 way into the film, which I'll get into a little bit later, which probably was one of the funniest moments I've ever experienced in a movie theater. So there is that for it. Getting into the actual breakdown of the film, though, with its flaws, because there are a lot of flaws here. I will save the saving grace of the film for the end of this video. Pacing is absolutely atrocious. Pacing is just, it's not there. I mean, you could cut literally the entire first half of the film out, and you're not going to affect the story whatsoever. There are a few things that are set up, a few things that are kind of into it, I guess are lead into the actual story that we have semi-formed here. But they're all things that you could also still get from the story that is coming, that you are given. This film really dumbs down a lot of its content, too, which kind of frustrates me as a viewer, I guess, just because, I feel the average viewer is not this dumb. I understand, the average viewer might not understand certain aspects, but you have to have faith that they could understand certain things. And I feel kind of, offended that they feel that the average viewer is this stupid, that you're not going to understand the message of the film, you're not going to understand, what's going on in the film. They have to dumb it down this much. I mean, it's a clusterfuck in that regard. At least personally speaking, I'm offended by that. But, that's neither here nor there. Soundtrack is pretty bland. There's not much to say about it. It's useless. I mean, it's used to set up, several jump scares, which, again, jump scares are the epitome of evil in horror films, in my opinion. They're the cheapest form of fear. It's the cheapest form you can get of a scare. So it's not... How do I put this? It is not of... It's not a good idea to have many jump scares because you basically take away, the audience's ability to actually fear the things they should be fearing in the film. Basically, they just look for the next jumps, the next things. Oh, it's good. When's that going to give us the next level of adrenaline? Whereas, with most horror films, you should feel this level or layer of dread that, engulfs you. Just concern. And you don't really get that, which is frustrating. I mean, that's the problem Blumhouse has had in recent years anyway. Blumhouse, which produced this film, is pretty much the main company that produces horror films right now. And at the beginning of the decade, they were doing some really good things. And towards the end of the decade, we've had some pretty big blunders, in my opinion. Not necessarily financially, because they're still doing that, and we do have, occasional gems. Get Out, Us. That's also because Jordan Peele is a fucking saint, and we love him. We love you, Jordan Peele. We love you. But no, I mean, for every good film we have from them now, it's like 5 shit films. And they're usually riddled with jump scares, and that's just fucking clusterfuck. Cinematography is some good scenes. There's some really good scenes with symbolism in it. There's also some really shitty scenes with just why was it shot that way. I don't understand. I'm trying to think what else. That's kind of... Oh, the writing's awful. Dialogue's really bad for this film. Really bad. Again, there's just some really bad... I don't understand. I really don't understand, because it's a clusterfuck. It didn't need to happen. You could have done so many different things that would have, gotten your message across that you were trying to basically share, and the writing for it just is lackluster. The one bright spot in the film is the lead actress. She plays Riley. Her name is Imogen Poots. No, I'm not kidding. Her name is, in fact, Imogen Poots, which is a fucking amazing name. She does really good. Her acting actually makes me feel some emotion. You feel the trauma that she's felt, her character has felt. You feel the emotion that she's going through for everything. She's actually makes the movie tolerable for the most part, because her character, again, you actually do feel some things for her, and her acting's very good. It's just the writing's very bad. I'm actually would be interested to see what she does in another horror film, because I think she could actually be a really good I think she could be a really good horror actress, and she could be a really good scream queen going forward. It's just, she needs a better role, or just a better writer, which is frustrating in its own right, because Sofia Takal, who has been writing and producing and directing and acting in films since the beginning of the decade, at least. I know at the beginning of the decade, she was considered to be one of the up-and-coming, stars, filmmakers. She was supposed to be really, really good, and I feel like the talent is clearly there. Because, there are aspects of this film that, you could see, it just wasn't executed. It's just really frustrating, because obviously there is talent there. It's just drop the ball. But acting is pretty much the saving grace of this film. My rating for it is a 0.75 out of 5. Yes, that is in fact a 0.75 out of 5. That's pretty much only off of some symbolism that we do get, which is some good shots, and Imogen Poots' acting and performance. So that's that. Get into a little bit of a spoiler territory here, just because why the fuck not? About 2/3 of the way through the film, this film goes from being very practical and everything is in the real world, to suddenly the root cause of all of this is magic. And I about lost my shit laughing my ass off at this, because it is just fucking hilarious. Because basically what happens is the two main characters finally get out of the house, out of the murder house. They're driving away. They're starting to go, and it's like, okay, we gotta get the cops. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna get everybody out of here. It's gonna be a great time. Fuck yeah, we're safe. And the character of Riley just turns to her friend, and she's just like, no, we're not. Because the reason that they're killing us is because of a magical bust in the main frat dude's house. And it's oozing this black liquid that's magic. And it's making them kill everybody. And her friend rightfully looks at her and she's like, you're fucking crazy. Suddenly magic becomes involved, and I don't understand how the fuck that happened, but it's a great fucking time. Because that turn just comes out basically literally left field. And it's just so out there, it's laugh-worthy. So that's that. If you've seen Black Christmas, let me know what you think. If you want to see Black Christmas, let us know what you think. If anything you want to see us review in the future, let us know. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. See you next time. We love you.